Time to know the news of the week. I'm Hannah Tabios. This is the MB Rundown. The local government units of 12 towns and 2 cities in Batangas province were advised to conduct mandatory evacuation as the areas are now all susceptible to ballistic projectiles, base surges, and volcanic tsunami, according to state volcanologists. The advisory was released on Wednesday by the Department of Interior and Local Government Unit, or DILG Batangas, which was based on the assessment conducted by the Philippine Volcanology and Seismology, or PHIVOLCS. The agency ordered the forced evacuation of residents in several barangays within the 14-kilometer radius from Taal volcano, classified as high-risk zone, and all are susceptible to ballistic projectiles, base surges, and a possible occurrence of volcanic tsunami. This include the towns of Talisay, Santa Teresita, Taal, San Nicolas, Mataas na Kahoy, Malvar, Lemery, Laurel, Cuenca, Balete, Agoncillo, Alitagtag, and the cities of Lipa and Tanawan. Residents in the following cities and towns were instructed to coordinate with their LGUs and local disaster risk reduction management officers for further instructions. Experts defined ballistic projectiles as volcanic materials directly ejected from the volcano's vent. These are highly destructive materials that can endanger life and property due to force of impact. Base surges, in simple terms, is like a landslide composed of solid debris from the volcano and moves radially outward at high speed, originating from the base of a vertical eruption column. The entire province of Cavite was also placed under a state of calamity due to the impact of Taal volcano eruption. PHIVOLCS Director Dr. Renato Solidum said that an explosive explosion of Taal is imminent as magma continues to rise beneath. In fact, he warned the public not to be confused by its weaker activity. On Wednesday, the agency said Taal volcano's main crater lake has dried up on the 4th day of its eruption. Ash-covered fruits and vegetables are still safe for human consumption, according to the country's health department. This as the public expressed concerns about its possible health risks. Health Undersecretary Enrique Domingo said on Wednesday that these items are all safe for consumption as long as they are thoroughly washed and cleaned. However, he discouraged the public from eating fish from Taal as a safety precaution. He said the volcano has spewed toxic substances that may be hazardous to the safety of the people and animals. Meanwhile, the spirit of bayanihan pours across the country as several individuals and even private groups from different parts of the country sent donations to the disaster-hit province, Batangas. These include the victims of the 1911 Mount Pinatubo eruption, farmers from Cordillera region who just recently suffered major losses due to oversupply of crops, and other Good Samaritans. While the Philippines rolled out the red carpet for the Chinese Coast Guard, or CCG, in a historic maritime drill on Wednesday, one of its sister ships was spotted going back and forth in Philippine-occupied Ayugin Shoal. Assistant Professor of the Chinese Maritime Studies Institute at the United Naval War College, Ryan Martinson, posted a photo of the track of CCG ship 5402 on Tuesday night through social media platform Twitter. He made this in a response to a news organization's tweet on the arrival of honors, according to CCG's Director General Major Wang Zhongkai in Manila. He said the ship steams back and forth in Ayungin Shoal, internationally known as Second Thomas Shoal. Ayungin Shoal is around 20 nautical miles from Panganiban Reef in the West Philippine Sea. The Philippine Coast Guard and the Chinese Coast Guard conducted a joint maritime drill aimed to strengthen understanding, mutual trust, and cooperation between the two countries. The Philippine government is imposing a total deployment ban on Filipino workers to Kuwait, according to the Department of Labor and Employment, or DOLE. This after the Philippine Overseas Employment Administration, or POEA, approved a resolution imposing a total ban on the deployment of workers to Kuwait on the recommendation of Labor Secretary Silvestre Bello III. The move stemmed on the failure of the Kuwaiti government to give protection to OFWs in relation to the brutal killings of Jeneline Villavende and Joanna Demafelis. After stepping back as the senior members of the royal family, Meghan Markle made her first public appearance in Canada by visiting a women's center in Vancouver on Tuesday, local time. The Duchess of Sussex discussed issues affecting women in the community, according to a Facebook post of the downtown Eastside Women's Center. She was pictured smiling alongside with the staff of the organization. Meghan and his husband Harry, the Duke of Sussex, has been in Canada in the recent days with the royal baby Archie. Just last week, the royal couple announced their plan to step back as senior members of Britain's royal family and that they will work to be financially independent. In a bombshell announcement, Queen Elizabeth II replied through an official statement that the family would have preferred the couple to remain full-time working members of the royal family, but they also respect and understand the couple's decision to live a more independent life. Meanwhile, these are the other top news of the week.
Vice President Leni Robredo slammed Overseas Workers Welfare Administration or OWA Deputy Administrator Mocha Uson for spreading fake news. The VP and her team just recently went to Batangas to distribute relief assistance to the disaster-hit victims. But in her Facebook page, Uson posted an article from an unverified website citing that the VP only went there for fanfare. Robredo denounced Uson's post as fake news and said it was an insult. Polio cases in the country is now at 16 according to the country's health department. The recent 4 cases was recorded in Maguindanao, Sultan Kudarat, and Quezon City. Health Secretary Francisco Duque III said all the patients manifested with fever, diarrhea, muscle pain, asymmetric ascending paralysis, and weakness of extremities. The agency urged parents and youth to vaccinate their children. Amid pending investigation, social media users defended scientists and staff of Philippine Volcanology and Seismology or PHIVOLCS after the House of Representatives passed a resolution calling for an investigation into the agency's lack of advisories regarding Taal volcano's sudden eruption. Some Filipinos on social media said experts at PHIVOLCS dedicated their lives to understand the tricky science behind volcanic eruptions to save lives. Some even said scientists were underpaid, underappreciated, and yet they still get the blame. PHIVOLCS Director Renato Solidum earlier said that Taal volcano has been on alert level 1 since March 2019. He said the public was reminded not to go to the main crater or near areas with streaming like in Daang Castilla through advisories posted on PHIVOLCS website.
Let's take a quick recap of the MB rundown for today, January 17. 12 towns and 2 cities in Batangas were under mandatory evacuation as the areas are now susceptible to ballistic projectiles, base surges, and volcanic tsunami, according to state volcanologists. Ash-covered fruits and vegetables are still safe for human consumption, according to the country's health department. A Chinese Coast Guard ship was spotted patrolling near West Philippine Sea's Ayugin shoal. The Philippine government imposes total deployment ban of overseas Filipino workers in Kuwait in relation to the brutal killings of Jeneline Villavende and Joanna Demafelis. And after stepping back as senior members of Britain's royal family, the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, made her first public appearance in Vancouver, Canada. And that's the MB Rundown. I'm Hannah Tabios.